let's move to the final topic, and we're talking about the Utah Jazz. Always bringing in those views. Everybody loves the Utah Jazz, the sexiest team in the NBA. We love Salt Lake City, where the lakes are salty, and other stuff. They are hot right now. They won 5 straight games. What?
I'm not reading that in chat.
What?
Retro is just dropping some colorful language.
Oh, yeah, you literally said the other week that you would eat ass, Sean. I don't remember if I...
No, yeah, you did.
Did I say I would eat that ass? No. I said someone else would eat that ass because...
I thought it was you.
No, I wouldn't say I would eat that ass. I was saying that someone was... I forget which player I was saying.
We were talking about a big man, I thought.
Yeah, we were talking about a big man, and I was saying that person couldn't go down there and, like hang with somebody. And I fucked up my words, and I said he wouldn't be able to eat that ass. That's what I said. So I misspoke, but I wasn't wrong about whatever player I was talking about. Clearly, I remember very well because I don't know who the fuck I was talking about.
I remember you saying it, and then us making fun of you because you said it.
Superfans?
No, it was. We were talking about
because I was on that side of the table.
Maybe. I don't know. It feels like. Yeah, I don't know.
Were you? Then if Sean was sitting here, then I was over there.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, I feel like.
Was it? No. I think it was a draft podcast.
That's right. Man. It was the mock draft.
Yeah, and
it was the mock draft.
There we go. That makes sense.
Someone wouldn't be in the post.
Yes.
Eating that ass. Oh, it was someone. I forget who it is that was soft, but I was saying he wouldn't be able to go up against Joel Embiid, and he'd be and
eat that ass.
It's something like that. Yeah. So I just misspoke there. Anyways,
Utah Jazz, right?
Well, no. We're gonna now. Here's where the actual segment starts. That's just for our people on Twitch. There are 13 beautiful people that are currently watching us live on Twitch. Now let's jump into the Utah Jazz. They just recently beat the... God, could you imagine if you didn't hear that segment when we actually started it?
Well, I mean, I think that's at the end of the Michael Porter Jr. segment. It's going to be in the entire podcast.
You are the czar. You control what we're talking about.
But unless you want a jump cut there.
Maybe jump cut that one.
We are now going to jump into the Utah Jazz, who are 22-12. They are currently 9-1 in their last 10 games. They are on a 4-game win streak, and they recently are coming off a win over the Chicago Bulls. They won 102-98. And
we pooped our pants again.
You guys did shit the bed again, and that's mainly because you guys suck at basketball. You blew an 11-point lead.
Yeah, we were good, and then Zach LaVine went all Zach LaVine.
You can't be good if you can't win a game.
You
were never good to start.
We're real good, up until the point where we actually have to decisively win something.
Yeah, that means you're not good.
But the minutes in between...
No, that doesn't matter.
We want to show
What's
that
the end result? Y'all suck.
Yeah, we want to show that the team has promise. Team anyway. But then we want to lose games because usually coaches get fired when they lose games.
Strategery. Yeah, and the Knicks are 6-4 in their last.
And they got the
Mike Miller. Honestly, Mike Miller's gonna get a fucking award soon.
I truly think the Knicks are better than you guys. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, because they made the move that we should make.
Firing Jim Boylan will not make your team better. Your team doesn't have talent. Anyways,
disagree.
Let's go into the actual discussion.
Yeah.
The Jazz, who just beat your lowly Bulls, are now on a hot streak, 9-1. Currently, I think they're sixth. Sixth in recording this right now. They are tied with the Mavericks. Mavericks have the tiebreaker though, so they are 5 games back from the Lakers for the 1 seed. But the big thing that's been coming up is Mike Conley has been out with a hamstring injury. He's been out since December 4th. He played a little bit on December 17th, but he came out after playing 19 minutes because he reactivated his hamstring. And since he's been out, they've pretty much been a winning basketball team. And it's been weird to see this because in his absence, they have lost 3 times and they've played 12 games. So they are 9-3 in his absence. And I don't know if it's because this team's finally just clicking and we knew that they're a better team than what they were showing out there. But you take away one guy and they immediately improve. And a lot of that has to do with your boy, Joe Ingles, Dave.
Last week's Wet Boy, kind of a precursor to this segment, just saying I called it and I told you so. And also, I want to give him credit for going out and making the trade, getting Clarkson, getting the bench scoring. And that's actually worked out really nicely for them.
But I really am loving what Jingles is bringing.
Oh my God, he's amazing.
What have you seen from your guy, Jumpin' Joe Ingles?
He's the 5-tool player of basketball. Basically, he does it all. He's got everything you want. If you want rebounds, he can rebound. If you want passing, he can pass. If you want scoring, he can do that too. You want efficient 3-point shooting? He's got that in buckets.
For a second, I was looking like, give me all 5 tools, Dave. What are they?
Pass, rebound, defense. He plays defense up and down the wing. He's got it all. Ricky.
He'll even coach your team, because that's another one. Player coach.
He's not a player coach, but he is good. And he's been playing very well since being reintroduced to the starting lineup. I think it was a great move by them to make that adjustment. I'm honestly kind of surprised because I feel like their head coach,
Quinn.
Yeah, Dan Quinn, known
American
psychopath.
Psycho. Yeah.
He doesn't make adjustments well during games. But this is a situation where it was a known thing. It was, we need a ball handler in the starting lineup. We need someone who can help facilitate. Joe Ingles, the bench experiment's over.
Did you say Dan Quinn?
I said Joe. I said something. Okay. I don't know. I don't know, man. I moved past it. Joe Ingles is the future. I love what they are doing with the team. And Rudy Gobert, that man, literally beat the Bulls with swats.
Please send him to an All-Star game.
Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star game. Anybody who thinks AD is in the same category as him is just fucking wrong.
Yeah, and I also don't want to take away from probably their best player. I don't know. You could argue.
Donovan Mitchell is good at basketball, as it turns out.
I don't want to take away from what he's been doing because he's been phenomenal as well. Back since December 4th when Conley originally got injured. I'm not really going to count the game on the 17th because he only played 19 minutes. He wasn't even there for the full game.
Sure.
But in those past 13 games, 49.6% from the field for Mitchell, 32.9% from 3. The big thing, 5.5 assists for Donovan Mitchell, 25.6 points per game. He's been fantastic.
Yeah.
I wonder.
The team's just clicking.
And why is that? Is it because Mike Conley's not there, or like what do you think it is? Because that's the thing that I question because they trade for him, and it still feels like Utah fans want Mike Conley back. Obviously, it doesn't hurt to have him back, but the SLC Dunk, the fan side of the SB Nation site for the Jazz said things are going great for the Utah Jazz. Won 9 of the last 10. One of the reasons is the emergence of Donovan Mitchell as a point guard. Personally, I was nervous when Mike Conley went down because I've seen how blitz Mitchell and Joe Ingles are forcing long-range shots from Ricky Rubio and Derek Favors. But instead, since Mike Conley went down, Mitchell has been slinging 5.5 assists per game, before 3.6, and the Jazz have also gone 9-3 in that stretch. It's exciting to see the growth from Mitchell, but the growth there, people are wondering if Mike Conley might not even be needed. It's just not that that is the case. And it goes from, Bojan Bogdanovic being injured or not being affected. So Mitchell might be on the rise, Ingles might be on the rise, but Bojan's been on the downturn. Yeah. Before the injury, he was 47% from the field and 44% from 3. Yeah. After, he's 38% and 40% from 3. So both of his numbers have gone down. So they might be winning games right now, but it might not be helping everybody. So do you think that Conley's injury is just coincidental that they've gone on this run?
And I do. The reason why is every single game before December 1st, which was the last Mike Conley game. I know he played one in this little group that he's been out. But like you look at the losses, they're losing against playoff caliber teams that are better than them, except for you might say, but Ricky, back on November 1st, they lost to the Kings. Do you remember how the Kings started out the season? They started out the season on a heater, and they were playing good basketball. And we were talking about, the Kings, could Luke Walton be proving us wrong? Well, he's not. He's not proving us wrong how he should be fired. Even though I like Luke, and I feel like that he is a good coach. He's not a good coach right now. Memphis is a bad loss. Minnesota, you could say, is a bad loss, but not really because they are a good team, I think. So it's like the losses that they have on paper up until December 1st, Toronto, Milwaukee, Indiana, LA, both of them. It's not like they're losing to the Bulls 3 times. They're not losing to Memphis 3 times. I know they had one. They've beaten OKC. Good? They've beaten the Kings, the Phoenix Suns. They beat Philly. They beat Milwaukee.
Everyone's beating Philly now. Well,
Golden State, they're not what they used to be.
Yeah. They're a G League team that
New
beats
Orleans. And this was all before the December 1st, though.
Yeah. So
it was kind of
after
mixed.
December 1st, you mean?
After December 1st, it was
like the games that we're talking about that are affected.
The games that the wins at Memphis, Minnesota, Golden State, Orlando, Atlanta, Charlotte,
Thank you.
Portland, the Clippers at LAC, they won 13. Won by 13, Detroit, Chicago. So really, they have
lesser
a good win.
opponents.
They have a good win in the Clippers.
And you got to asterisk that with was Kawhi and PG both playing.
I have no idea, but even then, it's
Well,
a 13-point win, and
I get
still,
you. A win's a win at the end of the day.
And that team is so deep that you still won, right?
PG played.
Yeah,
PG and Kawhi played.
That is
All right,
their
there you
best
go.
win.
Kawhi played 36.
Yeah.
So I think that with that though,
yeah.
I think that the Jazz site makes the best point. Is that right now you're playing a ton of Emmanuel Mudiay, and when Conley comes back, you're just pretty much giving all of Mudiay's minutes to Conley, and I would much rather have Mike Conley out there than I would Emmanuel Mudiay, and that's going to help your second unit, and it's not saying Mike Conley will be on your second unit, but also it just does allow you to give flexibility. If you want to run Mike Conley at the 1 and run Donovan Mitchell at the 2, you can. If you want to have Donovan Mitchell run at the 1 and then have Royce O'Neal and Joe Ingles and Rudy Gobert and Jordan Clarkson out there, you can. It just gives you another quality ball handler.
Yeah.
And maybe we've seen that they tried to force the Mike Conley thing too much. Maybe that they were too heavy-handed, that we're gonna run it through Mike Conley. We're gonna make him exactly like Ricky Rubio.
Yeah,
well,
he's not.
What if we have Donovan Mitchell be a playmaker, and let's see if we can use Mike Conley's great three-point shooting off ball. And I think it now gives them, it was kind of a blessing in disguise because, yes, he's hurt right now, and they don't need to rush him back because they're winning games. But when you get to the playoffs and when you get to playing the Clippers and the Lakers back-to-back or whatever, you then have the ability to have flexibility in your rotation and in your lineup. You're realizing what's working best for your team.
Yep.
And maybe this team that we ranked number 1 in the offseason with all of our weird rankings and everything, and with all the math adding up to them being the number 1 team this year, maybe we do have a third contender in the Western Conference because now we see that they have this all-defensive player in Rudy Gobert still playing up to that level and should be an all-star this year. You have a great all-star guard in Donovan Mitchell who could score 25 a night. You have a solid veteran point guard that could even be better than that in Mike Conley. You have the guy who does everything for you, Jumpin' Joe Ingles. You have Royce O'Neal off the bench. You have Bojan Bogdanovic as well. It really is lining up that this team, if they can figure everything out when Conley comes back, that they can be very dangerous in the Western Conference. And that's the thing that has been most exciting to me is that I don't think they're better without Mike Conley, but I think that losing Mike Conley has been weirdly a bonus.
No, I think a lot of times it's that what do you get addition by subtraction in situations. And by Mike Conley, he didn't play well when he started there, and I think you're right. They might have forced him into a role that he wasn't comfortable with. The offense, he wasn't familiar with these guys. There wasn't a trust factor there that he had been in the same system and playing with the same couple of guys for the majority of his career in Memphis. And I think it's just a lot of change, and he wasn't picking up as quickly as everyone had hoped. I think we've seen a couple of good games out of him, but outside of that, mostly this was a shell of Mike Conley. And I think that we're going to see a better version of him as the season goes on. So I agree. It's not a rush back, but the Mike Conley we saw in December or in November is not going to be as good as the Mike Conley we're going to see in January, as good as February. And I think as the year goes on, we're going to see him better fit the system and better fit the players around him.
Dave's dying.
I'm dying a little. I'm out of water. And
that's why the podcast has been so quiet. You're not like slurping down your water.
Yeah.
You have the loudest water bottle in the history of the world.
That man.
When he drops
he's got a metal ball in there.
There's no metal ball in there.
You took it out?
No, I've never had the metal ball in there. Oh. That's for like protein shakes.
I know, right? But I swear I heard it for the longest time. I don't know. Whatever.
Ice.
Whatever, man.
Got ice in there.
Point being, I love this team, and I think that, yes, they are definitely going to be scarier as the season goes on with Mike Conley back. I don't think they should try to do a swap on him for somebody else who might have potential. I know I've seen names tossed around, but I don't think any value really is perfect. My only concern is playoff time. Be 100% honest with you. As much as I can praise having Rudy Gobert out there, you have to admit, he's been run off the floor multiple times in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Is this something that they have an answer to now? Can this team work with him out there against these top-tier teams, running the pick and roll?
And here's the thing, at least with this, that I love about being live on Twitch, is that instead of talking about the Jazz with us, they have now started to fight about the Sixers in the comments, talking about how James Ennis should be upgraded, and then that he's been great, and then Scott and Horford are issues, and they need to trade it, and then that Dave apparently died as fast as the Bulls' 8-seed chances did.
Oh, you take that back.
And now we got to trade Ben in there as well. So we love our comments, and we love everybody watching on twitch.tv/MostValuable Podcast. Ricky, let's go into, I hope you got a hot take for me. The Utah
Mike Conley
Jazz
for Chris Paul. Just say it.
The Utah Jazz, right now, the way that they're constructed, when Mike Conley comes back, where is their ceiling in the Western Conference? Where can they finish, and how far do you think they can go? Are we getting NBA Finals, Utah Jazz? What do you think about the Jazz?
I really don't see them competing. Like right now, it would be them against the Clippers, and I don't think if they win a game against the Clippers, I'd be surprised.
Right now, but it's January.
No, in the playoffs. Regular season's regular season.
The Staples Center.
But I mean,
by 13.
Regular season's regular season. When you're on that playoff schedule, and you've got that one team where the Clippers, it's Doc Rivers, and they've just got the Jazz laser focused. I would say that series would be over if it goes to 6, I would be like, whoa, what's going on here?
You want to bet?
No, I don't.
Hey, defense travels. They're a better defensive team than the Clippers are. They're both pretty point-wise. They allow least amount of points.
I just think when the playoffs happen, the Clippers are going to
similar home and away, so
notch
I don't really
another
think there's going to be home court advantage. What's up?
I just think the Lakers, the Clippers, those teams, when the playoffs come, they're just going to unlock another mode. And it's going to be
the Nuggets.
Completely
disrespecting the Rockets.
Hard to beat them. But we'll see if Brody implodes that team in the playoffs. We'll see what happens.
Fine, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I just think that with their ability, with their wings, I think that's the most fun part about their team is, you have Mitchell, you have Ingles, you have Bojan Bogdanovic, you have Royce O'Neal. That's super fun. You have a guy that can stop everything going to the net, so you're going to pretty much force Kawhi not to drive. You're going to have PG-13 chucking up threes. Nothing is going to be easy for the Clippers around the rim, and that outside of, Kawhi makes his money in the mid range. We've seen Bojan Bogdanovic have a great time against LeBron James in the mid range defensively, and it's just closing out on PG-13, and you're going to have PG-13 beat you in the playoffs, and we know PG-13 with a very heavy load might not be able to carry a team. I think the Jazz can beat the Clippers in a 7-game series. I think they could beat the Lakers in the 7-game series because I think that although you have LeBron and AD, I'd be very intrigued to see Rudy Gobert versus Anthony Davis. It might be a whitewash for Rudy Gobert on the point side, but I think he'd be able to limit Anthony Davis better than any other player can in the Western Conference. And then you just have how well can the Lakers guards match up. And I think that Conley and Mitchell could possibly kill him.
They should be able to. Yeah.
So I think that the Jazz could possibly be a team that could win the Western Conference. I think that they're a top 4 team in the Western Conference, and I love that you finally see them clicking.
Yeah,
that's what I want to talk about.
Their matchup they're so matchup based in the playoffs though. That's my concern. It's
really
it's Gobert. That's the problem. It really.
It is.
Look at Gobert's
Jake's
results
screaming Gobert is still unplayable in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's the problem. If they go up against a team like the Rockets, where basically it's the Capella Gobert, which one hurts your team more? That's what it is, and it's a sad joke, but James Harden will cook him.
And the thing that also kind of hurts this team, because I'm looking at their trade targets of who they can get to be a bench center in case he does get run off the floor. And there's 2 names that I'm looking here at, what is this website called? It's scldunk.com for the SB Nation side of things. And there's 2 names on here I like. The first one's Bobby Portis, where I feel like Bobby P could be a team, or could be a guy that a team needs a smaller 5 in the playoffs because their 5 got run off the floor.
Yep.
And they can go ahead and then use him for that.
Battery swap.
Otherwise, you look at Cody Zeller. Here's the thing that's not good about those 2.
Yep.
$15 million. They have $15 million between the 2 of them, and the Jazz just don't have the money to make that contract up. Because it's you could throw Tony Bradley in there, Ed Davis, Georges Niang. These guys are not making a ton of money. And it's you're not going to give up Don Mitch. You're not going to give up Jumpin' Joe. You're not going to give up Bogdanovic. So it's are they going to be able to get a guy that can help them with that Gobert efficiency or inefficiency in the playoffs if he's run off the court?
I love someone that supports us as much as Jake, and I also hate him.
Yep. You do realize Jake is basically your brother, right? Or your twin. We can't tell which.
When
you guys are like almost the same person.
Jake said, "Thank God I can't see them anymore," and then said, "Damn it, they're back." I fucking hate you guys.
You're welcome.
The two guys that have subscribed to us were glad that you couldn't see us anymore. I understand not being able to see Ricky and Dave. I mean, come on.
I mean, someone's got to get these.
I'm sorry, this side of the table.
I love you guys. I was talking to them, not you guys. I love you guys. All right.
I'm sorry, I'm going to represent the strong hair game on this side. I'm just saying.
It's great this way.
Is that a balding joke? Is that what that is?
Yep. You both showed it on camera. You both made jokes. I'm allowed to make the joke too.
I'm proud of it. You know?
Well, I like all this feet. I like all this hair.
You know what? I'll take hair up top rather than hair right here.
All right. Final thoughts. John also threw out Deadman. Deadman could be interesting. But again, he's making like 13 mil, so it might be difficult again with what you're talking about with contracts.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. Like, and I'm going to end on this note.
What is the piece they need? I guess that's like.
Well, it'll be backup center is what the thing, and he does bring stretching and spacing to the team. I mean, he's a great 3-point shooter. So or at least for his size. So I think that at least for the center position, if you're looking for it, you want someone that can at least be a decent rim protector, but won't foul people. Which is obviously difficult, but you don't want someone that's going to be overly aggressive. Rudy Gobert wants to prove that he's the best defensive player in the league, which is fine. But also he limits their offense. Deadman would be able to bring at least spacing to that floor, which would give Donovan Mitchell more.
That's why I'm
space
so
to create,
surprised that like him coming out and saying I want to be traded, and I'm saying yep, he wants to be traded. And yet, no team has jumped on that yet. I feel like there should be a bigger need for a 7-footer who can shoot threes and play defense like him.
We'll see what happens when we get to the trade deadline. The big thing that I wanted to look up his salary beforehand that kind of screws the Jazz, but they made a move that helps them out is Exum was their contract. Like that was the one, hey, $9 million, that can be the one that boosts this up. And it's like, now you did that to get Jordan Clarkson, you don't have anything else to get somebody else unless you're going to trade like a Joe Ingles, which you're not.
And that's what I want to end on is I just don't know where the trades are going to happen this year because contracts are so screwed up. You keep going to the same guys over and over again on who's going to get traded and where they're going to get traded, and it just seems the guys that need the people that are traded, they don't have enough money to move. So I think this is going to be a very, very iffy what's it called? Iffy trade deadline. I think we're going to build it up too much.
You want a hot take?
Yeah.
You know who the Jazz signed come playoff time? Joakim Noah.
All right, we'll see.
That's the guy that can help them.
Let us know what you think down in the comments below. Also, we want to give a shout out to John Retro. Also, shout out to John who's saying end this already. Shout out to John. Shout
Appreciate
out to
your
Kingy.
honesty.
Shout out to Sam. I want to give a shout out to Kingy because Dave was talking over it. No offense to you, Dave. But I just want to make sure that Kingy knows that we love him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Retro. Shout out to John. Shout out to Jake. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Kingy. Shout out to Soapy, who was in here as well. Shout out to who else am I missing? I want to make sure we get everyone that was in here talking in the chat because we love and appreciate you. Shout out to Dave, who is also in here.
I'm rocking the chat.
I think I got everybody.
Hey, it's just about my chat reset, so I can't tell you anything further back.
I got everybody. I haven't logged out. Yeah, I think I got everybody. So if I forgot you, Pat was in here as well.
Yeah, Pat dropped in.
Shout out to Pat. So thank you everybody who has watched and us live on twitch.tv/mostofitpodcast. Thank you to everybody who's in the chat. We appreciate you. Also, a lot of these guys are supporters at patreon.com/mostofitpodcast. So thank you for that. If you do want to check us out at patreon.com/mostofitpodcast if you do want to support us there. But again, thank you so much. Kingy wants to make that trade, so we're going to do it. Drew Holiday and Thomas Satoransky for Kawhi Leonard.
Sure, you want me to push the button?
Make it so, number 2.
Let's do it. All right, that is it. We are done. We're going to do Superfans next, so if you do want to watch that, stay tuned. We are going to take a little bit of a break.
Need a 5. I need to get some water.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.
Do you have a Superfans white page? Oh, we do. Ricky, this man, before we go, this man is he's so prepared. He's got fucking all the shit set up in OBS. I just got to click buttons, thinking.